So, I don't know how long these temperatures will last, but today it was 22 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow it's supposed to be about 30. Today it did kind of rain for a portion of the day, so overall it was pretty shitty. But yeah, tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny, warm, summer temperatures. Again, it could easily go back to like 5 or 10 degrees, by Monday or whatever. But it would appear that summer is starting to, get on its way, start to get moving, and make its way here. And obviously, with the onset of summer also comes the onset of, wow, I have no life at all. Again, I'll draw from my experiences last summer. I will probably have a job by, mid or late July. Definitely by August, I'll have one. Even if it's not electrical, just, I don't know, just get something pushing carts or, doing warehousing or whatever. Just to make some extra money to cope some more. I mean, right now, I don't know if it's my lack of experience or something, but my applications are pretty much all going in the trash. I'm kind of in the same spot as Fred. The only reason he's still working is because he's working part time and because he started there in like high school, so he's been there a long time. If he wasn't there, he'd probably be having a hard time right now. But anyways, last summer I went to work and that was about it, right? I would go to work, I'd come home, and then I get my marching orders of do this and clean this and blah de blah. And I get to sit down on my computer and basically just doom scroll or play some games and watch YouTube, and that was about it. The only fun I had was when Telly came over to visit. When one of my friends came over to visit. He was the one who visited me the most often. If he hadn't come over and shown up, then I would have spent my entire summer just rotting in my neighborhood because I had no car. I still have no car, and I'm probably not going to be able to afford one until November or December of this year, if I'm lucky, right? Because I got, bills and debts to pay off, and, things get bad enough, it'll start rolling into the we're charging you rent because you're useless and, you didn't meet our expectations, so screw you. So there's that. And, getting to watch people who had a much better springboard to build off of is, you know, just live their lives and do as they please is pretty fucking insulting. But if if you spin the wheel of life and you get unlucky, then you got to play the cards you're dealt. And if they suck, and apparently the only solution is shut up and bow down and submit to the gods of fate. People keep saying, "Oh, you can change your life. You can make it better." To a degree. If you have very little personal autonomy like I do, you can't really do jack shit. You need to be able to have the ability to actually do stuff yourself. I don't really have much of that. I'm still taking marching orders. I still have to. That's what happens when you're a loser and a moron. And you fuck up too many times. Other people basically roll in and decide, you know what, you're too stupid to run your own life and I'll run it for you. Which somehow leads to the same result of, hey, I'm still stuck and I still suck. So nothing really changed. Um, so there's that. And honestly, at this rate, like, I feel like even if I do get a car, I'm not gonna be able to afford to really go anywhere. I'm gonna be earning like a dollar above minimum wage. I will be earning a dollar or two above minimum wage at most. The Iran thing is gonna blow up again soon, so gas prices are gonna spike. Even someone like Fred, who has money, is not traveling, when he can. I mean, and he's earning like about $4 to $5 above minimum wage already, and he already has a chunk of cash saved up, right? So, and then there's me, and it's just, yeah, I'm not even gonna be able to afford like gas, so I'll probably go nowhere. I don't even really know where to go. I've been, just stuck here for so long. It's just like, where do I go? Are there any fun places here? What do I do there? Is it expensive there? And then I go there and it's like, wow, it's great. I spent 3 hours trying to find here and then I got to drive home and it's like, well, that cost me $1 million. So honestly, if you're a fellow loser like me, then just unless everything falls apart or whatever, just don't expect your life to change much. Just don't really expect anything. The worst part is just seeing, all the kids and the teenagers roaming around, biking in groups or strolling about in their little gangs, and it's, kind of a punch in the gut, because it's like, hey, I used to do that. I used to do that. Maybe like 600 weeks ago, I used to do that, and now I will never do it again. Because everybody left. And it can get pretty insulting, kind of way down on you in the evenings, that the sun's starting to set and it's still kind of warm outside. You start remembering, when you were younger and a kid, you'd be out with your friends, you'd be at the plaza or just playing basketball at the playground or maybe in another life you'd be with your girl, not even necessarily like a girlfriend. I mean, that's how bad it gets. Like you know it's bad when you're like fantasy copes are just like watered down to try and still stay in the realm of realism. You know, and you and some girl and you're just drinking sodas and watching the sunset and hanging out and talking about life and stuff and plans. Or you're with your dog and you guys had a fun day playing fetch and it's like, hey, tomorrow you wanna drive around the country and we'll go get that little that steak shop you like, get you one. I'm not even gonna be able to afford a dog in the future probably. A woman is completely out of my league. I am incapable of getting one female, not even one. So next best case a dog, but again, too much money, won't have time. Probably I'll end up with some company that's gonna call me at like 6 in the morning, like, hey, the customer has a problem, or like like 7, at night. It's like, hey, the customer has a problem, and it's like, well, I guess I got to get up and deal with it. That's where I'll probably end up. So I will have literally no life outside of work, and I will earn nothing, and all my money is about to be gobbled up by inflation and paying for my mistakes earlier in life. This is what happens when you don't mature fast enough and you're stunted and you live in your head because you can't actually deal with any of your problems in real life. And then you grow up and you realize, wow, I was an idiot. But sorry, it's too late. You're stupid and you don't get to turn back the clock. You just get to live for the rest of your life with your weight of your failures. Congratulations. That's why we become losers and that's how we just stay that way. Again, at this rate with their whole, AI thing, it's probably not looking like I'll be able to do jack fuck, so yeah, sure, I live in Canada, but doesn't mean that it won't spread here, right? If America's, the node, the command HQ, then Canada and Mexico are kind of like the little branches. And, you know, the elephant stomps, you're going to feel it across the border. Probably, yes, more than even Mexico, because Mexico is Mexico, but we're a little closer to the United States, so we're going to get probably screwed over more once they turn on Shodan or whatever. But overall, it's just brutal, and it's insulting, just watching everybody else go out and about and do their thing, and you're stuck in your little box in front of your little screen, and the best you can do for the rest of your life, presumably, is drink sodas and hang out by yourself, even though you've spent half your life doing that anyway. So, yay! Ah, well. Yeah, it's. I mean, on one hand you can numb it, but on the other hand, it really just is so brutal. Just the future you were promised, and just remembering how ironically you used to be freer in the past, and that now it's all over. And it's just the only advantage of summer is that it's warm and the weather's nice and there's greenery and there's more people out and about, so you can feel like you're not in a graveyard forever. Other than that, it's like, did life change? No. Is it gonna? Not for a long time. Are you gonna lose your mind some more? Yes. I mean, most people's lives are boring, to be fair. A large part of life is boring, day to day stuff, you forget it, but being a little better than a dog in a cage is a horrible feeling. It'll get to you eventually. It comes to you in flashes, and some days it just hits you like a hammer to the face. Just you spent your existence getting the windmill kicked and basically being told, hey, you better do what you're told, and it's like that's what the rest of your existence on this planet is going to look like too. And well, that's wonderful, but hey, welcome to the club. Like I said before, in another life we would have been conscripts or slaves, or whatever the hell lower class job they had. It's just that we get to be a little more comfortable now and also realize the depth of our servitude, which is nice. Because again, in ancient times, we'd probably already be dead by now, or you know, all we would ever know is the villa or something. The Romans. I mean, yeah, just you know, back in the olden days, we weren't as aware of the wider world, or our careers rapidly killed us, so it didn't really matter, right? Our suffering wasn't dragged out either because we were ignorant, or because we didn't live that long. But now we do live long enough, and it's pretty well shoved in our face of how much better people are doing than we are. So it's just like, so I get to be a serf basically, but I am very aware that I'm a serf. I'm very aware that a lot of people are not serfs, and I'm very aware that I'm basically stuck as a serf. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for insulting me. It's like, couldn't you at least be more honest and just tell us, like, you know what, you are the bottom of the pecking order, so get to work, and this is the rest of your life, and screw you. Instead of lying, be like, oh, you're gonna be so great and unique, you're gonna have such a wonderful future if you just work hard at this. Just shut up and give me my paycheck and my little box to sleep in, and bugger off. Oh well, society wouldn't work if it didn't lie to you all the time. One size fits all. If you fall through the cracks, sucks to be you. Don't worry, they'll come for everybody eventually. That's how it always ends. First, we, the serfs, get run over, and then the middle class gets run over, and then, the richer elites get run over, and what a life.